Good morning, Dojo Nation. Randy Reed here. How you doing today? Been a busy week around here. We had a black belt test, our first black belt test for this little part-time school last Friday night. Man, you forget. It's been a long time since I ran one. I usually had staff that did it, and I did the whole thing myself. And I forgot how much work these son of a guns are. But I also forgot how incredibly rewarding it is to see those kids. We had them up on a stage. It was spectacular, and the feedback and the result in business this week at the school has been pretty darn impressive. One of the things I get asked quite a bit is what business model's best? How many schools should I have? Should I have one school? Should I have multiple schools? And I ask people a simple question: what makes you happy? Let's start with that. Um, there's John Bassard. I think he has 14 schools now. He's a terrific manager of men, systems, and a multi-unit business model. Does great. Randy Holman out in Washington has one school, 1,000 students, and he's been on vacation for about the last 4 years. So I don't know. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think the answer or the big question is, who are you? Do you want to be responsible? And you are for other people's lives. If you are employing someone to run a martial arts school, you're going to be responsible for a lease. You're going to be responsible for that person's income. And through their income, they're going to be responsible for their family, their home, their future. And that's fine. A lot of people do it. Not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying you really need to understand, is this what you want to do? One of my black belts that purchased one of my schools, I talked to him last week, and he was explaining he has a lot of students. He has over 400 students in a small town here in Wisconsin, and he has a lot of money in the bank, like a lot of money. And I said, well, why don't you make some investments and get that money working? And last year he averaged a little less than an hour a week at his school. And his personal income, I won't say which school it was, but his personal take home income was around $300,000, which puts him in the way in the top 1% in Wisconsin in income. And basically, he didn't have to do a lot of work. He wanted to spend a tremendous amount of time with his children, and he did that. So when we were talking about him making his investments, he said, if I had another $1 million, I wouldn't be happy. It wouldn't make me any happier than I am right now. I'm 100% happy and I don't need any more. And I went, well, you don't hear that very often. You very seldom hear the statement, I don't need another $1 million. But this guy is very in tune to who he is and what he wants out of life. There was a time when I ran a bunch of schools that had a big organization. I found out I hated it. I hated the politics. I hated the responsibility. Um, but I thought that was the thing to do at the time. So be careful. I've got a bunch of my guys, and I know a lot of guys in this business that can make a substantial retirement income off one school. Um, you can too. I'm not saying don't become a multi-school owner. Jeff Quirk over in Milwaukee, he's putting together a program that I think is probably the best in the United States. He's going to have a ton of schools over there. He's already got a couple, and it's just he has the infrastructure, the training, and the people, the best I've seen out there right now. So he'll have, and it works for him. He's very happy doing that. And we have other guys here in Wisconsin that are running one school, and they're very, very happy. So the first question of the day is why and what makes you happy? Um, Another thing that comes up once in a while is, well, I want to provide opportunities for my staff. And I'd say, well, great, but you don't have to take the full responsibility. Provide an opportunity for them to go open their own school. You don't have to own it. Let them do it. Um, so there's a lot of operators out there that are running multi-level or multi-level, not multi-level, multi-unit facilities that can help you if that's the way you want to go. But I just caution you to make sure that's where you want to be when you get into it. Now, after my coffee this morning, I'm going to call that student of mine and say, look, if you don't need that other million, I know an old Irishman that could probably find a good home for it and make some bartenders down at Cozumel real happy. So we'll see what he has to say. Y'all keep kicking. Randy Reed here for Dojo Nation. Over and out, team.